Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with episode 4 of F1 2014 Career Mode. Thank you for the amazing support so far on this series. I really do appreciate it. And as always, if you have any comments and opinions, leave it down in the comment section. And also, if you really enjoy this video, remember to hit that like button, as it always does help me out. So anyway, we're here in qualifying 3 for the first time. And what you're about to see is just like facepalm central. I don't even know what really happened, but this is what happens. Basically, yeah. Okay, I don't really know what happened there, because basically I have to hit record, press enter to go to track, and then run over to my simulator and get into the seat and everything. You've probably seen it if you've seen my setup video. And yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know whether the wheel was slightly off center, but the car just went straight into the wall. That wasn't me that did that. Before anyone asked, I wasn't even sitting in the seat when that happened. When I got to the seat, it was already steered into the wall. So I'm not too sure what happened there, but basically that was my session over and done with. We get into Q3 for the first time, and unfortunately we're just going to start 10th and no time to improve on that, which is really unfortunate. We're predicted 6th or above here, and we're going to end up starting 10th because I don't even know what happened. I guess my steering wheel was ever so slightly off central when I left it off, and it just sort of steered into the wall without me even doing anything. Because with the G27 it doesn't sort of auto go back to center, if that makes any sense. It just stays where it's sort of last left. So I guess I left it off slightly, it's left to the center, and yeah, just steered into the wall, which is just unfortunate. But that's unfortunate, but that's just racing sometimes. We're going to start 10th here, and we're going to see if we can change up the strategy a bit here. I think I'm going to change it up to lap 7 pit stop, but in the race I actually just decided to go with the lap 6 stop anyway. You'll see what happens, but there's not really any difference between a lap 6 and a 7, but the tyre wear was a little bit more than expected. And I forgot to say, I'm using a setup from TRL Limitless for this race, so if you want to go and check his channel out, I'll leave a link down in the description. He's doing setups and stuff, but yeah, this is the setup I'm using, and it really made a massive difference to the first 2 races where I just didn't use any setup. The last race in Bahrain, it did definitely make a difference. I was doing quite well. And this is the race where it made a lot of difference, and it made us get into Q3 for the first time. So definitely showing it definitely does help out our pure pace here. So here we are, 3 lights, 4 lights, and then 5, and then lights out, and away we go here in China for the 4th race of the season. Bottas making a pretty bad start, and we managed to get past him even before the first turn. Next up we've got Raikkonen and Massa. We're going to be able to squeeze between the middle of them. There's a little bit of a gap, but we don't manage to quite get through them there, so we're going to try and go side by side. We're going between Massa and Hulkenberg, then between Alonso and Ricciardo. They just left the gap, and I managed to make up all those positions, and then I make it up into P3 as Vettel just leaves the door wide open. I managed to go from P10 to P3 in the first couple of turns. It definitely does make you question how good the AI are in these first couple of corners, but then Nico Rosberg leaving another massive space for us just to dive down the inside and get P2. So already, after a couple of turns, we've already made it from P10 on the grid up to P2. And now we've set our sights on Hamilton. Fast fuel mixture, we definitely don't have the faster car, but we've got a good car in a straight line here. The car is very fast in a straight line, and also the downforce is pretty good as well. But our problem is that there is quite a high amount of degradation on the tyres, and that's something that I've never been good at in the past, and that is definitely going to be the hardest part of this race, to keep these tyres intact for the end of this race, and hopefully we can battle with these guys towards the end. And you can see we're not really holding up Rosberg behind there. He's not exactly sort of, keeping up to the back of us here, is he? He's got a gap of, I don't know, maybe 7-8 tenths of a second after those couple of corners there, and he's not right behind us. The same gap from Hamilton to me, from me back to Rosberg. So overall I think we've got a pretty good start here, and it looks like we can keep up with them into the braking zone. We sort of get close to Hamilton, but it doesn't take us that long to get right onto the back of Hamilton and into the DRS zone as well. Rosberg slightly caught up to the back of us here. It's about 3 tenths of a second here, but we got the DRS now on lap number 3, and with this DRS we're going to be ever closer to Lewis Hamilton down this back straight in China. There goes the DRS, over 200 miles an hour already, over 210 miles an hour. We're right behind Lewis Hamilton. We're braking very late, looking down the inside. We haven't made any contact. We've sort of made him sort of turn out the corner ever so slightly, but we're still running side by side. Hamilton coming across to the racing line, but he doesn't manage to keep it into the final turn. We managed to get the position up into P1. Rosberg gets past as well, and what a crazy last couple of corners there. We get the gap over to Rosberg over a second as well, so really good last couple of corners there. We keep the gap whilst using lean fuel mixture, so saving a little bit of fuel there. And we dived into the pit lane on lap number 6, because I knew as soon as I got past these guys, I need to put it into the lean fuel mixture because I was running fast fuel mixture the first 3 laps, and basically I think I was down minus a lap, so I basically just needed to put it into lean fuel mixture to try and get myself to the end of this race. Now we're coming into the pits to put the harder compound tyres on. These are the mediums, the white sidewall tyres, and unfortunately we get held in the pits there. A 5.9 second stop, about 2 seconds slower than they normally would be, and that was all down to that Williams that was coming through the pit lane, and unfortunately for us he sort of got in our way, and it meant that we couldn't come out the pits. And then, whoa, coming out the pits here, we've got Kvyat and Gutierrez battling, and we managed to just get through them there. But wow, Gutierrez and Kvyat both nearly wiping me out as I come out the pit lane there. Very, very crazy stuff. That's not the sort of stuff we want to be getting involved with, but luckily we managed to dispose of them as quickly as possible on lap number 7 here, and making sure we keep within reach of Lewis Hamilton here. And you can see all that lean fuel mixture saving has really helped us. We're now plus 2 laps, and now we're using the fast fuel mixture once again to get into the DRS zone of Lewis Hamilton on this lap, because we don't want to lose him. We can easily lose him by, you know, doing something silly through this middle sector, but luckily for us, I think that's a Lotus he's got in front of him there, and he needs to get rid of him as soon as possible, because that Lotus is about 3 to 4 seconds a lap slower than the Mercedes in outright pace here. So we really need to just dispose of, I think it's Grosjean, as quickly as possible here. But we are in the DRS zone, and it's actually Maldonado going around for a couple of extra laps here, and he is getting in the way of Lewis Hamilton's race here. But luckily for us, it should actually help us out because he's really slowing him up. He will get the DRS, which is unfortunate, but we should get the DRS as well, as we were within that 1 second window. But now Maldonado, as you can see by the little light, was saving a bit of fuel there, but we're going to get into his slipstream, and we're going to hopefully get the double slipstream here. Maldonado, yes, not really the slipstream of Hamilton, but we're going to go flying down the inside there. A great move down the inside, no contact whatsoever. We managed to get the move down really cleanly, showing the AI a little bit scared on the brakes. They don't really brake as late as you probably could, but here we are. This is judgment time. Are we ahead of Nico Rosberg here? You can see a couple of cars coming out the pit lane here, and who is it going to be? Well, it looks like we've got Rosberg way out in the lead there. We're going to get past, I think that's Ricciardo. He's right up behind us here, so unfortunately for us, we've lost the time to Nico Rosberg there, and that is really unfortunate for us. We lost about 3 seconds through the pit stop and the outlap, so yeah, just unfortunate. We were about a second ahead of Rosberg, and we ended up being about 2 or 3 seconds I think behind, so that was not too great. But this is pretty much the closest I ended up getting to Rosberg. I burned up all my fuel trying to keep up with him, but as you can see there, I had to flick it into the standard fuel mixture because I just couldn't keep, you know, on that consistent pace with the fast fuel mixture. I was putting in decent lap times, but I just couldn't get the lap times in that were good enough to get onto the back of Rosberg. And unfortunately for us, this is pretty much where we had to end up for the rest of the race. We were more defending from Hamilton than catching Rosberg because we've run out of the fast fuel mixture, and now it's really about just defending second instead of going for first. But, however, saying that, going through Sector 1 with a decent sector split there and actually keeping the gap to Rosberg is pretty good, even on the standard fuel mixture. Hamilton less than 4 tenths behind me, but as you can see, the gap just keeps going up and up. And on lap 13 here, we've got a pretty big gap to Rosberg, and pretty much these last 2 laps, my tyres were completely sort of gone. They went off the cliff. And even though we're putting in decent times here, that is only relative to our last lap time, which was still not that great. We got Hamilton right up behind us here. He's here within the DRS zone, and he's going to get the DRS down. Well, he's going to be in front of us and get the DRS, so he's going to get really good here down, you know, top end speed down this straight. But, however, saying that, we're just going to get into his slipstream and sort of get the DRS effect as well. We don't really get the full effect of the DRS, but we should be able to just keep in his sort of slipstream and go down the inside, which is exactly what we do. And is Ricciardo going to get the move done? No, he's not. Ricciardo backs out of it at the last second here. But if we skip ahead to the last sort of couple of corners of lap 14, we've got Hamilton still right up behind us, but you can see the gap to Rosberg just keeps going up. We lost about 2 seconds over that last lap, which is just unfortunate, really. The tyres had gone off, and just defending from Hamilton, we knew we couldn't keep up with Rosberg. His pace was just sublime in the last sort of 5 laps of the race. He just keep pumping in those sort of consistent lap times, and he just, yeah, it was crazy seeing how fast Rosberg was. And you may have seen in the mirror a couple of corners ago that Ricciardo got past Hamilton because Hamilton was looking to go up the inside, but he just couldn't make the move stick. So Ricciardo went round the outside of him, and he managed to get onto 3rd place. And is that another great podium for Danny Ricciardo here? But he's got Hamilton right up behind him here. And as I said, our tyres are all gone. And there we are. Rosberg's won the race, unsurprisingly. Final turn, however, we make a slight mistake running over the AstroTurf on the inside, and we sort of block him off there, you know, a little bit cheap going to the inside there, but we still managed to get 2nd place there, which is incredible. I wouldn't have expected that going to this race weekend, but I think a lot of it was down to the setup, which was absolutely immense, and we just could keep putting in those great lap times there. And I think we are 2nd fastest out of all the drivers there, and yeah, you can see much faster than our teammate as well. So really good, really good, really good. And I'm just hoping that the next races will be very similar. And I know we're sort of outperforming the McLaren, even on Legend AI there. And before anyone asks, that is on Legend AI. I bet you'll be like, what? How did he manage to do that? But yeah, it was on Legend AI. I was surprised too. And there is the Drivers' Championship. We're in 6th place there, 47 points behind Rosberg, who's now taking the lead over Hamilton, Vettel, Ricciardo and Alonso, who are the top 5, and Button's still there, sitting there in 8th place. So there we are. We are 4th place in the Constructors as well, so that's really good. And yeah, as expected, Mercedes just way out in front. And was that Lotus, Toro Rosso, Sauber, Marussia and Caterham all not scoring, but yeah, there we are. Really, really fun race, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully the commentary was good to listen to. And as always, remember to hit the like button on the video, because I really, really do appreciate the support. And when you hit the like on the video, it helps me out a lot, and also gets the video out there to more people that may not be subscribed to my channel. So yeah, that is really, really cool. Hopefully we can have more results like that in the future. But that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all soon for another F1 2014 Career Mode. Goodbye.